I already got to stop this late night recording, but I just couldn't sleep. I had this horrible nightmare that we lost to Norwich 6-0. That would never happen. It's Norwich. 6-0. Oh, we never get beaten 6-0. Bloody, where are you? Norwich. It's doubly annoying because my mum looks just like Delia Smith. So it's almost like she's mocking me. It's just awful. Troy Parrott got 2. Max Aaron's got 2. Buendia, Todd Just, thing is though, if you look at the match stats, they shaded it, but not by 6 goals. I was so tempted to sell Casilla. You have no idea. And yes, the loss of Rob Holding has hit us hard, but I have brought in a replacement. And people that watch the Rangers save will know I love Lucas Mai, and he is here. Best thing about him is that he's only on 5k a week, and he's just as good. Well, he's not just as good as Holding. He's not anywhere near as good, but he's still pretty decent at this level. And we've almost secured safety. So if we completely implode towards the end of the season, it's a-okay. It's going to be all right. We've done mission accomplished. And he's not the only signing we've made as well. Jack Clark has come in on loan. Of course, an ex-Leeds player, don't forget. I have brought him in from Tottenham in on loan as well. 25k, a little bit more expensive. I don't have any money to buy players. All I can do is loan them in. But I do think Jack Clark will be a decent player for me. Mainly because Kishner is out for 3 months. He's been injured with a fractured lower leg, which I was ecstatic about in the 2-0 defeat to Tottenham. Let's talk about that, shall we? After the rather disappointing episode last time, we actually did quite well in all fairness. We beat Newcastle 2-1, qualified in the FA Cup, won in the FA Cup against Blackburn again, got revenge on Fulham 4-0. I enjoyed that a lot. Joshua Zirkzee was brilliant in that game, randomly. Then the 6-0 thumping against Norwich happened. Then we lost to Spurs, which is fine. Then we beat Burnley 2-1, got revenge for that as well. And Mourinho got sacked from Spurs, which made me even happier because he slated me after our game. Doesn't sound like him at all. And then we've had a very close 1-0 defeat to Man City. It was a pretty tight encounter, and we could really have walked away with the win in the FA Cup, but not to be. So that's left us in a pretty decent position. We are 8th, and most importantly, we are 1 point away from the magical 40-point mark. I'd like to think that we're going to be able to get at least 1 point between now and the end of the season. Europe is still on the cards, and today could go a long way to deciding if we're going to be in that conversation or not. Mainly because we're playing 2 teams that are playing quite well at the moment, in Bournemouth who are in 10th and Chelsea who are in 3rd, so kind of probably overperforming a little bit. Hopefully, we won't have repeated the Norwich game. I cannot tell you how annoyed I was. Genuinely, I really did think it was a dream. I didn't think it was real. We've got a few injury problems. Kiko Casilla, who I was kind of berating earlier, is actually injured, so Angus Gunn is going to have to play today. Yeah, and Leif Davis is also injured, so at the moment Jordan Lukaku is pretty much manning the fort at left back on his own, which is less than ideal. One good bit of news though I can bring you is that Mikael Quisance is back, and he will be taking the place of Jamie Shackleton, who's been playing as part of the midfield three at the moment. We've gone a little bit more defensive in that midfield three for the time being, but it's not really that much different. I want to go for them today, and the sooner I can get Quisance back into the team, the better. So, our lineup today will be Angus Gunn in goal, Lukaku, Van Hunsen, Mai, and Luke Ayling, who's taken over that back right position, or right back, as normal people would call it. Calvin Phillips and Seb are in the middle, as always. They've been brilliant this season. Calvin Phillips in particular has been very good so far. Costa's having to play on the left today. Quisance is in the middle, and Jason is on the right. Jason's the one I've probably been the most disappointed with all season. I expected a lot from him, and he's not really done anything, in all fairness. His versatility comes in handy, but he's not been brilliant. Quisance again, is in the middle. I probably already said that. And Jean-Kevin Augustin is back fit and firing. He already got a brace in one of his previous games. Xerxes also in good form, so it's nice to have 2 strikers that know where the back of the net is at the moment. They're playing a very weird formation here. They're playing the 5-2-3. They've got Shea Ojo, a player also from Rangers I know very well and can be a very good player. And they've got Dominic Solanke up front, so there's hope. I remember we lost to Bournemouth, I think, at the start of the season. They were 2 of the back-to-back defeats. Thinking about it, actually, these are the first 2 fixtures that we played this season, because obviously the first fixture we had in the league this year was against Chelsea, wasn't it? at Stamford Bridge, and we got mauled 4-0. So let's hope that doesn't happen again. Lucas Myers already got a yellow. That's good. This is probably going in. Tibbling over the ball, whips it in. It's just gone wide. Thank God. Again, it's the wings that I'm very struggling with at the moment. With Kishner gone, we just don't have anything really on the wings. Jason's been so disappointing this season. I did expect a lot more from him. And Helder Costa, he did score actually in one of his more recent games, but I'm still not particularly pleased with him overall. Victor Fisher on the left, he's a decent player on FM, always plays really well. Ojo heads it back in and Phillips clears it. Now who's going to pick that up? Augustin, good. Right, let's build an attack. Come on, John, I want to see some attacking play. Helder into Calvin Phillips, lovely into Quissans. Make it tick, my man, make it tick. Helder Costa, lovely run. Costa hits it. Oh, God, it's miles wide. It was always going to go miles wide. Why is he so bad? I'm going to take Helder Costa off. It's not been his day again, so he's coming off. Jack Clark's going to come on. I'll keep him playing on the winger, actually. Let's keep him playing on the winger and see how he gets on. Jason, that's well played by him. He's given the ball to Seb, who's a player I'm delighted to have had in this year. And that's a fine stop by Musso. But really, I expected a better finish from Jean Kivin there. He should have powered that into the back of the net. He's been so prolific all season. That was a real chance for him there. Like a real chance. Clark, ball to the back post. He Quissans with a great... I don't think he was offside. It's a great finish from Quissans. And this is a debatable one. This is debatable. I need to see this again. I mean, it's brilliant that I can. Thank you, FM, for clearing that up. Luke Ayling's not having a good game. I'm going to take him off. And neither is Augustin. So I'm going to bring on Joshua Zirkzee for the last half an hour. See if maybe he can conjure up a little bit of magic to get us a goal in this game. Poor from all these players there. Costa, Augustin, Ayling, all 6.4s. It's not acceptable, Tibbling. He's given the ball away there. Yeah, I read that. Jack Clark. Go on, mate. On your own. Jack Clark up against his man. Whips in. Joshua Zirkzee. Tees it. Seb. Boom. It's his 7th goal of the season. He was never going to miss that. And Joshua Zirkzee makes the difference. Comes on. Lays him up perfectly. Lovely, unselfish play from the big man up front. And maybe, just maybe, he's taken over from Augustin there for the time being. He's in much better form. But Augustin has had a lot of injuries. It's a lovely setup. Can he finish it? Yes, he can. Quissans for stepping onto it as well. One of them would have finished it. Seb's been signing of the season without a shadow of a doubt. If it's anyone else, I'd be surprised. Seb's been incredible. It'd be interesting to see, actually, what kind of players we could get if we got into Europe next year. There'd be a lot of those kind of second-tier players up and coming that might want to get a little bit involved with us. And plus, we're a team that's really young and full of potential, so that might interest a number of really, really interesting players. So Joshua Zirkzee turns his man inside out, and it's a wonderful finish. He's starting ahead of Augustin in the next game. Incredible by Joshua Zirkzee. It's his 8th goal of the season. Brilliant ball by Calvin Phillips. And he literally... Who was the defender here? Because whoever he was, he literally just made absolute mincemeat of him. Who is it? I can't tell. Come on, let me click on him. Click on him! I mean, like, he's moving too quick. Oh, to be fair, it was only Brad Smith. I'm pretty sure I could turn Brad Smith inside out. No one tweet that to Brad Smith. I don't want him to go off and prove that I couldn't, please. We've got a really good young core of players here that I think are going to do us very well going forward. Quissans tees into Zirkzee for a third. It's 3-0. Where's this? We're so inconsistent. How can you lose away 6-0 to Norwich, then go to the Vitality and win 3-0 pretty comfortably? Joshua Zirkzee gets the second of the game. He's got to start the next one, doesn't he? He just has to. And that lifts us up into 6th. And I have to say, actually, one funny thing is, Burnley, we're all going, oh, going away to Turf Moor's not brilliant, and losing. They're 5th, in all fairness to them. They're 5th. There's a lot of teams down here struggling that you wouldn't expect to be. Arsenal and Spurs. I say you wouldn't expect them to be struggling. But if we were honest. One thing I am worried about is how many teams are going to start coming in for players over summer. I can see Calvin Phillips. I can see offers coming in for Calvin. I can see offers coming in for Van Hudson. I can see offers definitely coming in for Seb. And obviously, I've got 2 strikers, or my best 2 strikers, are on loan. I've not even signed them. Jean-Kevin Augustin. I need to sign him properly if I actually want to keep him. I need to sign him properly. And Joshua Zirkzee, same thing. I need to sign him properly if I want to get him. I need to sign him properly. In all fairness, I'd take absolutely any of them as Joshua Zirkzee wins Young Player of the Month ahead of 2 Norwich boys. Probably for that one performance that they had against me. Yep. Because Max Aaron's 2 goals were against me. And Troy Parrott, 2 of those 3 goals were, you guessed it, against me. In the race for the Europa League football, which I suppose now technically you can kind of class us in, because let's face it, we're not going down. So really, I suppose the only way is up. That's hurt my voice. Probably also annoyed the neighbours because it's pretty late in the evening. So there's no real reason to change that much, to be fair. The only real change I've made is that Joshua Zirkzee is coming in for Augustin and Kiko Casilla is on the bench for today. Other than that, I'm going to go with the exact same team that smashed Bournemouth, because why change? We had a really, really good performance. I was very pleased with what I saw, and hopefully we'll be able to do similar against Chelsea today. And I'm going to say that we owe them after what happened in the last match. It seemed to work against Bournemouth, so let's hope it works against Chelsea as well. And if we win this, Europe is really, really not out of the question. Stop saying really, 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 really. They've got some bloody good players though, to be fair. They've still got Kante, Kovacic, Tomori, Christensen, Reece James, Pellegrini, Everton, Abraham, Ziyech. On the bench, they've got Pulisic, they've got Mount. They've got talent everywhere to Chelsea. And this is probably going in, I'd hesitate, because they've got a lot of good set-piece takers, Ziyech being number one of them. And that's a decent save by Angus Gunn. Pretty sure it's getting wide, Angus. Pretty sure. Whenever I say Angus, it literally just makes me think of a steak. And, funnily enough, when I think of Angus Gunn, I think of a Miss Steak. I got jokes for days, mate. Jokes for days. Well, it's not been a good start. We've literally not been in the half until now. And are we going to actually do anything? Quissance whips the ball in, and they've headed it clear. And Everton smacked over to Tammy Abraham. And I remember, I think he gave our defence a bit of the runaround earlier on the season. That's a brilliant dive in. I needed that. And the Steak has saved it. Oh, yeah, I forgot they've also got Jan Black, who was a wall earlier on this year. Ugh. Just any time I see Jan Black in a lineup, I'm just resigned to not scoring or not winning. Pellegrini whips it in, Ziyech 1-0. They're third in the league for a reason, and I don't really think that I've given them the respect that maybe they deserve. We're growing into it now, but it feels a bit like you give them such momentum advantage when they keep the ball for so long. The problem as well that we got is whenever we do have a shot, we have to get around Oblak, and that is problematic in itself. Angus Gunn, the steak is literally, I was going to say well done steak, but I don't like my steak well done. I like it medium rare. How has it taken me this long to make jokes about an Angus rump steak, or just an Angus steak in general when it comes to Angus Gunn? I've had him in other saves, and I've completely missed this opportunity. Terrible. I can't believe it. A missed opportunity. And this feels like a missed opportunity because we are playing god-awfully. And guess who is being particularly rubbish? Is it the wingers? Is it? Is it the wingers? Is it Jason being absolutely abysmal? Yes. Yes, it is. Ayling throws the ball in. Quissance heads it down to Seb, who whips it in. Zirkzee. You just get in. He only needs one chance at the moment, and that's his 10th goal of the season. He's catching Augustin up for our top goal scorer. We share a lot of the goals out this year. I have to say, we've not scored loads, but they've come from all different areas, which is a really good habit to have. Seb, again, with the assist. How he gets the control on that cross after basically half volleying it is ridiculous. And out of nowhere, it's 1-1, and Chelsea are going to be ruining them, but the chances that they missed in that first half. And the game that Angus Gunn's having. It's nice for me to actually have a goalkeeper having a good game. I don't need Jordan Lukaku getting injured, if I'm honest, considering that I have no other left backs. Okay, I'm sorry, Jason. I just can't do it anymore, mate. I can't defend you anymore. Just get off. I can't defend him anymore. Jack Clark's coming on. Just Jason. That's a good ball into the back post, and Pulisic hits it just wide. We've been better in the second half. That's the first real chance that they've had, in all fairness. We get Quissance on support rather than attack. I'm tired of him kind of just moving around and not really influencing the game. Maybe if I get him to come a little bit deeper into the game, oh yeah, then he can get a bit more involved. Phillips, that's a decent ball over the top, and Zirkzee's in. Zirkzee is in. Zirkzee, it's a great save by Oblak. It's not just the fact that he saves it, it's the fact that he holds it as well. The handling there to like not parry that out is incredibly frustrating. Luke Ayling's on a yellow. Never on my watch, so he's going to come off. Angus Gunn playing a 7.4. I've never seen one of my own goalies play at a level like that, to be fair. It's been ages since I saw a man of the match performance from one of my goalkeepers. It's nice to see it. And at the moment, he's going to keep Kiko Casilla out of goal. I can't see a reason why I'd bring Kiko Casilla back in, because all he's ever done is let me down, to be fair, this year. He's letting a lot of howlers, and Angus Gunn's done nothing wrong here today. And it's maybe a bit too early to say that. As Pulisic darts inside, hits it. Nah. Angus Gunn. I'm going to say it, and I don't like it, but well done, steak. Well done, steak. I mean, again, it's a rare performance. It's so rare to see a goalkeeper doing well. Oh God, I hate myself for these jokes. Oh no, Mount over a corner, he whips it in, and Angus just lets that go over the bar. It's beautiful. Come on, Ryan, skins his man into Cuisance. Good ball there to Calvin Phillips. He loves a long shot. Not today. Jordan Lukaku. Oh, he scored. It's 2-1. You cannot stop the Leeds train when it gets going. And if we get anything out of this game, I will be the first person to go in and buy Angus Gunn a steak dinner. Like, okay, enough of the steak jokes. This is not the end of the steak jokes. But what a goal by Jordan Lukaku. He loves to score in the big games. Scored against United, I'm pretty sure he did. No, he didn't score against United. He just set all the goals up and was genuinely imperious. We've just held in there. That's literally all we could do. We've just done a bit of rope-a-dope. Hung in there. Angus Gunn should get man of the match without a shadow of a doubt. He's got to be man of the match. Surely, if they don't give it to him, I'll eat this hat. I won't, because it's my lucky hat. Corner, last minute. Gotta love set pieces on FM. There's nothing Angus can do about that. There goes his man of the match award. In all fairness, like, I can't argue it, okay? They deserve to probably win the game, but when you're 2-1 ahead like that, it stings, you know? It just stings. But either way, that's put us in a bit of a decent position. You look there, 3 Premier League games unbeaten against Burnley, Bournemouth and Chelsea. I would have taken that, especially considering that we've got QPR, Villa, Everton and West Ham coming up. Those are all games, again, that I'd fancy us to do quite well in. And you know what, actually, I think it's time. We'll do the Manchester double-header. We'll go away to Old Trafford and then at home to Manchester City, because we're not in the relegation battle anymore. We're out of that. We've pretty much secured safety. We're 23 points away from Crystal Palace. We're barely, well, not no games remaining, but with only 12 games remaining, the likelihood of us getting dragged anywhere into that is so unlikely, it's unreal. We've got over double the points. We have to be looking up now. And a Champions League place is not out of the question. I hate to say it, but it isn't. It's not out of the question. So we will see how we get on. But I think the Manchester doubleheader has got to be where we come back. And then obviously we can look forward to the season finale. I'm perfectly happy with finishing 14th or above. Would be absolutely perfect for me, but at the moment it looks like we could well be on course for a top half finish, and for that I would be absolutely delighted. Just a bit gutted we lost the points to Chelsea there at the end. Thank you so much for watching the episode. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do like, share and subscribe. Let me know where you think we're going to finish in the table in the comments section, and let me know how scared you are of the upcoming Manchester double. I'm terrified because we beat United, and you know that they're going to put us on the backlash. I can feel it. But you never know with this team. We're so inconsistent. 6-0 against Norwich. 6-0 against Norwich. Anyway, all of that is forgotten, sort of. Until I see you in the next episode of my Leeds FM20 save. Stay cool. Oh.